we have a pretty special young lady. She's 14. Her name is Tumi Mathenge. And with Tumi, I want to do this a bit differently. Tumi, feel free to turn on your video and your mic. Tumi is a 14-year-old activist. And Tumi, the first question I want to ask you, I want to go with you question by question.
Okay.
So what made you think as a 10-year-old, I need to become an activist? What inspired you to become an activist?
Well, I'd say I've always just loved animals and nature. I've always felt like connected to them. When I was younger, I used to watch cartoons that had a lot to do with animals, and I started to watch documentaries and found them interesting. And I realized every life matters, from animal lives to plant lives to human lives, all of them matter. So I realized if we keep saying there's something human beings normally do. They say they assume that somebody else is going to take care of the problem, and if everybody thinks that someone else is going to take care of the problem, who is that somebody else? Because everybody is thinking someone's going to take care of it. So I decided, let me just start, and then other people also start, and let me take part in it, because it needs everybody to take part in this problem.
And that's a pretty amazing perspective for someone so young to decide to take on the burden of taking care of the earth. And we're very proud of you. So what have you learned in the 4 years you've been doing this? What have you learned so far?
I've learned that it's okay. It seems I think many young people think it's very like hard, but it's quite fun. Like planting trees, going to see animals is fun, and I genuinely enjoy doing it. And I think many kids would enjoy doing it if they were just exposed to the environment where planting trees is normal. Going to the national park usually is just normal to them. I've also learned that about the what is it called? The ozone layer. Yes, that's something I took a lot of time to read on, because I thought it was very interesting that the only thing that's separating us from the UV rays that are produced from the sun is a thin 3 millimeter long, 3 meter thick layer, which is the ozone layer. And the UV rays are very dangerous. They can cause things like skin cancer, they can cause eye cataracts, and eye cataracts cause blindness. So imagine that in the future, if the ozone layer keeps on depleting, we'll have very many blind people, we'll have many people with skin cancer and many diseases, and also it affects plant life, which makes it harder for plants to grow. So it'll basically be the end. So that's another thing that I learned.
So if you think 10 years in the future, and all the work that you're doing, what would you like to see? What's the Africa you're trying to see?
I'm trying to see an Africa where people are aware and people are educated on the problems of climate change, because if people are not educated, they won't think it's a real problem, and they'll think it's a problem the government is going to solve. And really, the government solves problems, but we also need to show concern for the problems, because we are the citizens of all our different countries. So we also need to show like concern for it, and also see like, okay, in the future I see like not a country, our world or Africa is like we're more connected to nature. We've gone back to our cultural selves, because our tradition, like our traditional selves, there was so much synergy with the environment, with nature, animals, humans. We were all synergized, and we all really learned how to like coexist. So I see a world an Africa where we're in technology, but it's like Wakanda, basically, like an Africa like Wakanda, where we're educated, we're smart, we have technology, but yet again, we have the aspect of animals and we're learning to coexist with them. That's the Africa I want and the Africa I see in the future.
I think Wakanda is a pretty ambitious and beautiful dream to have for Africa.
Yeah.
And so what do you think, how do you feel like we can support young activism or young activists like yourself?
Well, I think that grown-ups should show like that it's a problem to their kids, because if you see mommy not taking, like mommy didn't think it's a big problem, you will just think, oh, it's not a big problem. Or if your mom doesn't encourage you to do something, you won't really feel like that you have to do it. Like the way parents encourage their kids to do academics and schoolwork, like maths and science, is how they should be encouraged them to take part in conservation and doing for tree planting things. That's what I think we like parents should do. And also I think parents should fund certain things, because some parents they don't really think that it's a concern. Like, they don't think it's a big problem, so they won't put their money over there. Like, they won't think, oh, let me not pay for trees for my child to go and plant. Let me not pay for my child to learn like lessons that my child should learn for an environment and stuff like that. So I feel like they should just show concern. And I feel like the government should put their money where their mouths are, because people aren't really. If you talk, like you just talk, you say, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, everyone is just gonna be talking and nothing's gonna be happening. So I just feel like people should really fund it, and people should also show concern. That's how I think parents should help their kids. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Tumi. Thank you for your activism. Thank you for your work. And